I would say, first of all, thank you. Um, Not just for the work she was doing with me, but also with my wife, like the the amount of effort she put into us. I would say thank you very much because she went way beyond this what I would think a coaching would be. It went way beyond that, and I like to say that I would think I would call her my friend more than anything right now. Um, Life was good. Uh, I was doing the grind, doing work, trying to grow um, my business, trying to be a little bit more independent. I was working with a company and I wanted to kind of branch off, but I started to get a little bit stagnant. Even when I had the opportunities that I thought I would like, I still didn't seem to have the drive that I wanted. Even when I thought I was getting into what I wanted, and I wanted to really push myself a lot harder. And one of the main things I saw through coaching and hearing my wife coach with people and just reading up on it was the idea of really if you're too comfortable, there's a problem. So you gotta push yourself to the edge, and uh, I don't think there's enough where you could think about it to do it. You sometimes need somebody to do it to help you push to that limit. Um, you can't always just do it on your own, and that's where I really thought that I could use the benefits of Allison's. I would say a little more everything. Definitely, I wanted to hone a little bit more on my business and really see how I could create the life I wanted with my business. But along the way, there's a lot of little tidbits that I would pick up um, that I didn't even know. Like I'm focusing on one problem, or I think this is my problem, but really, Allison helped me figure out no, that you're looking at the wrong thing, or you're doing too much, or you're thinking too much. There's something else, and then only through trusting her, but also she would be so spot on things sometimes during our conversations, our one-on-ones, that it was like, wait a minute, like it clicked in my head. And I would tell her, like, I'm like, you're hitting on something that either I thought about, and I don't know how you caught up on that, or you're hitting on something that I didn't even think about, and I need some time to think about that more. I would say a lot with the business, but I believe in anything in life. It could always be better. Not meaning that you're depressed that it's not where you want it to be. I just think everything could be great. I think business could be great. Relationship could be great with your wife, with friends, with community. I think there's always opportunity to grow, and with Allison, she was helping me with all those facets. I started to see a little bit of benefit through all those things. I would say it's healing in the fact that you don't realize how much fear plays into all your emotions and what you do. Um, Fear and the idea of being in comfort, right? Without your mind will always find the easy way out, type of thing. And you don't realize how much fear comes into play in that. And I think pulling out the fear I would say, is a big thing that Allison did, and letting me find it myself. It's not saying that she probably was 10 steps ahead of me, I would say, most of the time, and knows where things are going to go in the conversation or where it should be going in a week from now. But she would never say it, and then eventually it would just come out. She knows how to get the fear, I would guess, to pinpoint the fear and let you find that yourself. To be honest, I would say the one of the big thing was the expense. Um, Another was a little bit of worry: would it actually work? Would there be any changes? But there was also in the back of my head is also was the there that idea of what would be the changes, what would be uncovered. right? You're going to let someone in who knows how to bring things out in you, and to let that all out is to be that vulnerable to somebody else, and then be vulnerable in a way of knowing that you're not just relaying it over to some bartender. It's, you're relaying it over in a way of that you want a better outcome than just someone listening. This isn't about the someone listening. It's actually they're gonna direct you through this path, and be willing to go through that path. There was that bit of fear. It was definitely a bit of a roller coaster. You could feel a bit of a high, but then all of a sudden, you start overthinking things, and then you're falling back. Like it was always ups and downs. Even now, I'm still, it's one thing to think about where you want to be. It's another thing getting there. It's another thing, actually putting the effort and making the steps to get there. I definitely, at one point with Allison, which I regret, but don't regret. I said, we're going through. I said, let's take off the gloves. Go a little bit, go a little bit more, right? And just in that, my mind was like, I want to get there, and I was trying to push her maybe a little too fast. But at the same token, she got what I was going with, and she took off the gloves, and I had to deal with that. There's definitely some tough conversations. But if just showing up and willing to be there for the calls and going through it is like you're there, you're gonna do it, like you're committed. So in that, there was a time through it that it was like, okay, I'm seeing the benefits, I'm seeing this, but I know there's more, and I think she knew that too. And I was like, okay, let's go even deeper. I'm ready to go even more, and she did that right away. I learned a lot of things that were, I would say, sometimes you just think about that about yourself. It's another thing to hear it from others or to actually take it in. But a lot about how your childhood affects you later on. And it sounds like so basic, but sometimes hearing it so black and white, or seeing it so black and white, or journaling and bringing things out so black and white, it hits you a bit more, where you actually realize things. And that's when you're able to start saying, okay, personality, what personality? You're not born with a personality, it's created. So, you're thinking you're one way. Do you want to be that, or do you want to be something else? And you could be something else. I see a lot of the changes where it's a progression. So I see that it's not a matter of reaching a certain point. It's a constant where there's going to be ups and downs, and keep going. That's where I am now, where it's not so much where, okay, I got to reach this goal, get to this goal, get to the light at the end of the tunnel, reach that point. No, it's the process, and that process is life. It just keeps going. It's going to be that ups and downs and how you get there. So even with working with Allison and getting towards the end of working with her now, it's not like I'm finishing something. It's more of just like I'm still on the path, and I'm always gonna be on the path. And I have her to thank for that, like that idea of keep going through the path and not trying to say, okay, I reached a goal, and then what's my next goal? There's a bigger goal all the way at the end. Just keep going. Just keep going. Definitely that feeling that she's got my back, and that she has my best interest at heart with all the calls, even with the tough questions and everything we were doing. That was a big part of it. That was definitely a big part of it. She really made you want to open up and talk to her on the phone calls. She had a way of just being very quiet and bringing things out of you, which I appreciated. Someone very trustworthy, someone very smart, someone who will pick on the smallest little things that you don't realize, and really, I would say pick up on those small little things. Like she really knew how to pick up on the conversations and pull things out of you. She's very intuitive that way. Jump in. I would say jump in. It's there's only so much someone could do on their own, and it's not as much as that you. I would say the coaching it's needed if you want to take that next step. There's only so much you could figure out in your own head, or figure out on journaling yourself, or any type of mindful work that you want to do on yourself. There's only so far you could go. It's important to have that coach to direct you.